Caitlyn would start her own league with you, I'd give her $100 million and I have as many billionaires as you needed to start a league. You turn on Fox Sports, you talk, or ESPN, they talk about the WNBA a lot. That was never the case like 3-4 years ago. The league is there, so they got to start acting like it. Like the ratings show it, the interest shows it, we're talking about it.
Dave Portnoy just dropped a $100 million bomb on the WNBA, and fans are split. Did he go too far? Or did he just say what everyone's been thinking about Caitlin Clark's value? The league's paying her rookie salary like she's an average player.
But you have to have a certain personality. Like, I think if she truly was like, I'm out of here, I'm starting my own league, she'd have people lining up, including myself, and she would put the WNBA out of business. I really do believe that. She has State Farm, Nike, Gatorade. Those are like blue bloods. Ryan's a Tom Brady in a way. I don't think she'll ever do that. Like, I talk with her never about that stuff.
But what if the real problem isn't Portnoy's number? It's how the WNBA values its stars in the first place. Let's break down why this might be the wake-up call women's basketball needed. Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. Costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So, did you click the subscribe button? Great, thank you so much. Now back to the video.
If she would have let me be her agent, I would have in a second. And if she's like, I'll start a new league with you, I would get her whatever you want.
You talked about if Caitlyn did her own league. Do you know anything about what you would want to see her do? You said you'd partner with her and give her $100 million. That's the biggest offer that she's gotten.
I've never seen a sport that seems to be like, we don't want to grow the game. We want to get paid like we're growing the game, but we actually don't want these new fans.
The biggest headlines are always going to be about Caitlyn, and that was a power move in itself. Nafisa probably knew that.
Why did Dave Portnoy think Caitlin Clark deserves $100 million? That number sounds wild, but he didn't just pull it out of thin air. He said it straight on his show, with that usual Portnoy tone that dares people to argue. One offhand comment and boom, social media went ballistic. Some fans said he finally said what no one in sports media would. Others called it delusional, saying he clearly doesn't know how the WNBA works. But the reason it hit so hard is because of what it exposed. Let's look at the numbers. Clark's rookie deal pays her around $75,000 a year. Not per game, per year.
If you were WNBA commissioner, what are you doing day one?
The media deals, I mean, I don't know how they're doing them. I just think you gotta know your value. You may have to be like, if you don't get what you want, figure out. You can put games on pay-per-view. You can get different networks like Dana White and the UFC. And it goes back a little bit to the Nike deal. Like, your value is far greater. And at times, like, that may mean you may have to take a risk.
Meanwhile, Portnoy's $100 million basically outnumbers the entire Indiana Fever payroll by hundreds of times. The WNBA salary cap for a team is roughly $1.5 million. Her contract is a fraction of that, even though she's the main reason that teams' games are selling out. When you put Portnoy's number next to those realities, the gap looks like a canyon. And fans are split right down the middle about it. Some say he's just drawing attention to how undervalued Clark really is. Others think tossing around a giant number like that makes women's sports look unrealistic and fuels bad faith arguments. Still, they can't deny what's happening since she entered the league.
So I think she wants to make the WNBA work. I think she grew up wanting to play in it. She's kind of like been a good trooper for the Fever and the league. Very rarely, if ever, publicly says anything that like should cause any waves.
Ticket prices up, merchandise flying. Games that used to draw small crowds are now bringing in thousands. National TV ratings jump whenever she's on. That's real money moving around because of one player. Sports economists often point out that women's contracts rarely match their market impact. It's not that the star players don't create profit. It's that league structures limit how they share it. So yeah, maybe Portnoy's number is off. But the reaction to it proves something bigger. He accidentally touched the league's most sensitive truth. And soon, those numbers might force the WNBA to face it head-on.
all eyes are on Caitlyn, whether she is playing or not. Obviously, Caitlyn is the biggest reason for the boom in the WNBA currently. She is the reason for that. When she said that line, like, that was going to be something that all the media was going to pick up on.
What if Caitlin Clark's rise isn't just about star power? It's proof the WNBA's whole pay setup is stuck in another era. Every time she steps on the court, the Fever game turns into an event. National broadcasts, packed arenas, thousands tuning in online. It's wild how one player's name can change the conversation from niche to mainstream. Clips of her shooting from half court or taking over a fourth quarter explode on social media within minutes. The Fever went from empty seats to sold-out venues overnight, and that kind of surge doesn't happen by accident. Here's the catch, though. Those crowds and clicks create money that barely touches the players. The league just signed larger media deals, sponsorship interest is spiking, and merch sales are climbing.
Upgrade the experience. Like, don't be cheap. This league has the ability to be great. We believe in our product, and we'll push our chips to the table. So I am such a firm believer in what they have. Start acting like you are great. You don't need to get the money and then pour it back in. Start treating yourself like an A+ league.
But players see almost none of that from their paychecks. The WNBA's salary cap keeps total teams spending below $2 million, while new ticket revenue and TV exposure easily outpace that. It's a setup that limits individual earning potential, no matter how much attention a player generates. When the NBA stars started pulling the league forward decades ago, the system eventually shifted. Bigger TV audiences and higher jersey sales turned into higher salaries and a collective bargaining setup that widened the pie for everyone. The WNBA hasn't caught up to that model yet, even though Clark's draw is pulling the same kind of mainstream energy.
And I think they don't do that yet. I think they're kind of like, well, do we have the budget? Do we have this? And I get that matters, but the money's there.
Caitlyn also said that she hadn't heard from Kathy since those alleged comments.
But she's up there. I mean, she's up there. I mean, Taylor Swift doesn't like just befriend you like that unless you're up there.
Fans are paying hundreds just to sit courtside at a Fever game. Yet most of the roster earns less than what one courtside row can bring in for a single home night. So when Portnoy tossed out that $100 million number, maybe it wasn't supposed to be literal, it was a spotlight. A loud way of saying the system's outdated. Clark's numbers keep climbing, and if the WNBA doesn't evolve soon, that momentum might not wait for it. Portnoy's $100 million comment might have sounded ridiculous, but it hit the real question. What is a generational player actually worth in women's basketball? Clark's impact goes way beyond her stat sheet. She's filling arenas, selling tickets, and putting the WNBA in headlines every week. The outrage over that number shouldn't hide the message behind it. Maybe the system has stayed small for too long. If fans, owners, and sponsors want the game to grow, fair pay has to follow. Because Clark isn't just raising the bar. She's redefining what it means to be valuable in this league.